In this video, I'm going to be unboxing the Nintendo 2DS. Now this system will run you $129, so it is the cheapest out of the 3DS family. Now before I unbox the system, I'm going to be talking about the differences between the 3DS and the 3DS XL compared to this system right here. Now the main difference is that this system does not have no hinge in the middle, so you can't open it and close it. Both screens are exposed. It's basically like a tablet. They're all on one surface. Basically, you can't open it and close it. Basically, this system is made for kids ages 5 to 10. It's harder for a little kid to break this system. Not to say they can't break the system, it's just harder for them to break the system. Another feature that this doesn't have, it doesn't have 3D, so you can't turn on 3D. On the system, you can only play games in 2D. Now, although this is called a 2DS, this system does not have its own games. Some people have actually been confused and thought it has its own games, but it actually doesn't. If you see a cartridge like this that says 3DS on the side, it will play these cartridges. It just can't play them in 3D mode. It only plays them in 2D. And it'll also play cartridges like this. So if you see a cartridge that says Nintendo DS on the side, it will play cartridges like this. So these two type of cartridges, the Nintendo 2DS will play. Just look for these in the store. Now another thing is, since it doesn't actually have a hinge to open and close it, the way you put it in standby is there's actually a little switch at the bottom of the screen on the right side. You actually just turn it off and on to put it in standby with a little switch. And one thing else that's noticeably different is that it doesn't actually have a Wi-Fi switch on the side of the system. There's actually a toggle on the home screen that lets you turn off and on the Wi-Fi. You just got to go to the home screen. There's a little toggle there. Those are all the differences between this one and the 3DS and 3DS XL. Now, the main reason I actually bought this was because I do already own the Pokemon 3DS XL limited edition. The reason I bought this was because I'm primarily going to be using this on the go or when I'm traveling and stuff, since I do travel and I go places a lot. This is going to be my backup system. I won't have to worry about my more expensive one breaking. And as you know, I do love the 3DS. I think the 3DS is a fantastic system for gaming, so I got this one primarily as a backup. Now, they do come in two colors in North America. At least they come in blue and they come in red. I opted to go with the blue color. Now I do wish Nintendo would give us a little bit like adult colors or more mature colors, but blue and red's all we got. I know in other countries they have different colors, but in America they only have blue and red. So I just went with the blue one, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the box. So here's what the box looks like. It says Nintendo 2DS on the front of the box. You got a picture of the system right there. On the left side it says plays all games in 2D, Nintendo 3DS games and DS games. On the side of the system it says Nintendo DS. Now I originally thought that there was supposed to be tape on here, but they actually don't come with tape on them. This is a brand new system, so if you see one without tape when you first buy it from the store, it is a brand new system. Actually, it's not used or refurbished, it is brand new. On the top it says Nintendo 2DS. Now actually the name of the blue one for America is actually Electric Blue. The real name is Electric Blue. On the back of the system it just tells you a little bit about the system. Now the Nintendo 2DS actually has the same interface that the 3DS or 3DS XL has. So if you've owned one of those systems before, you'll have the same experience. When you go to the home screen, you're going to find all the same applications as those two would have, like I just said. So all the same applications. I'm going to go ahead and open it. So here's what you get in the box. You get a couple of goodies in the box. Of course you get all your paperwork. Here's all your paperwork in this one sack. You got your Club Nintendo points rewards card right here for Club Nintendo. You can go ahead and look at it. I've already used this when this video goes up, but there it is, Club Nintendo. Now you also get AR cards, which every 2DS and 3DS has the AR cards right there. Then you also get your manual. I'm not going to go open it or go through it or anything. That's your standard manual, which most people don't even read anyway, but there's your Nintendo 2DS manual. Now here's the main stuff you've been waiting to see. Now here it all is. Now they do give you a charger in the box. It is the same charger that the DSi XL, the 3DS, and the 3DS XL use. So if you have one of those systems, their chargers will work on the 2DS. And if you have one of those systems I mentioned, this charger will also work on one of those systems. I'm not really going to open it. I've already have one of these. This is just a spare, but they do give you one right here. There it is. Now here's the main thing you've been waiting to see. Now this is my first time holding this system, so it's going to be my first time actually feeling it. Now I guess Nintendo packs this kind of hard, snugly in the box. Now here's the system itself. It does come in this plastic sleeve thing. So here's the Nintendo 2DS. Now I'm going to tell you some differences. Right off the bat, this does have the same screen sizes as the original 3DS. So if you've ever had a 3DS, they do have the same screens. It does not have the same screens as the 3DS XL. It does have the same screens as an original 3DS. Now all the buttons on here are the same as the 3DS and 3DS XL with some minor differences I'm going to go over right now. Since I said it doesn't have a hinge and you can't open and close it, it does have a standby switch right there. There's the standby switch right there. You just flip it to turn it in standby mode, and you flip it again to turn it off. There it is. And it only has one speaker grill right there, so I don't know how it's really going to sound, if it's going to sound louder than the 3DS or 3DS XL, but it does only have one speaker right there. Those are pretty much all the differences. Other than that, it got all the same buttons. Now another thing to note is that the circle pad and all your standard buttons that you do use to play most games are flush with the top screen, unlike the 3DS and 3DS XL, which the buttons are flush with the bottom screen. So I don't know how that's going to translate into games. I will have to test the system out and tell you how it feels to play a game. But for right now, the system, from first impressions, the system does feel pretty good in the hand. It's not really too cheap as some people were saying. It does feel pretty sturdy in the hands. One thing to note is it still does have the two 3D cameras on the back, so you can take 3D pictures. I don't know why you would want to take 3D pictures, because this thing can't play them back in 3D, so I don't know why they would include them. One other noticeable difference with the 2DS is that the buttons are bigger than the other 3DS and 3DS XL. They're bigger L and R buttons, bigger bumpers, and they do make a clicking sound. Don't know if you can hear that, but they do make a clicking sound. And there's a cartridge slot, but there's a cartridge slot where you put all your games. It is off-centered compared to the other ones. It is off-centered. Then you got your AC adapter where you plug it in to charge it. And those are basically all the differences this one has between the 3DS and 3DS XL. This is just my quick unboxing of this system. Now I am going to be doing a full review after I've had it for a couple of days to try it out and see how it actually feels to play the games or whatnot. But anyway, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out.